part 3 of the Metal Sonic Clay tutorial. So before we continue, I want to do a couple things. First off, I'm going to fix up the nose here, make it as long as it should be. I'm going to do a little something to the eyes, because I was looking at it and I didn't exactly like how the eyes looked. So as we were doing with, the color bleeding down here when we were trying to, draw on these lines, we can actually do the same thing up here with this toothpick. We can very carefully kind of go along the eyes and fix them up a bit with the toothpick by carefully taking some clay off of them. And then the other thing I wanted to do was fix up the spikes a little bit, because I noticed that they're kind of lacking. I mean, I know his spikes aren't huge, but I want to add some more clay to them. So what we can do is kind of take the body here and I'm going to move the head a little bit and kind of just very carefully mush some more clay onto the head, just so it's a little more pronounced, the spikes. And if you're really careful, you can add some clay to the top of his head too. I feel like as we were pushing stuff down and stuff, we needed a little more on the top. So yeah, very carefully just kind of push the clay and pull the clay, all around his head. And you could also use this opportunity to make a more pronounced kind of anger to his eyes if before he didn't look that angry. So, because you could just push the clay down. I actually forgot about one detail on his body, so let's do that right now. So you could either do this with black or you could do it with a toothpick. I'm going to try with a toothpick because it's kind of a really small area. And all we're going to do is make a little indent, kind of a line down like that, if you can see. And Metal Sonic has 2 of those. I guess they're just like, I don't know, like ventilation areas or something. I don't know. But he has that on that side, and then the same thing on this side. So 1, 2. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better with just etched in with the toothpick. So, okay. So, I gotta make sure his nose stays intact. Okay. So, the limbs. Now, first off, we need some white here. And like I said earlier, I'm gonna show this part will have 1 arm and then 1 leg, and then I'll do the other 2 off camera because they're exactly the same. So, first off is some white here. So make them like as thin as you can. The top part is white. So okay, that's pretty good. We can work with that. So now I need some blue here. And his arms are actually a lot easier than I thought they were. I remember I used to have a lot of trouble sculpting Metal Sonic's like limbs and stuff in my earlier days, but this doesn't look too bad. So what we're going to do is kind of what we did for the head. First I'm going to roll this kind of, like that, and then I'm going to take my finger and kind of pull down to create this little indent, and then make a little, like a little area inside here. And that is definitely what I want to do. So just going to make that a little neater. And extend the bottom down a little farther. Still keeping in mind the skinniness, because this is skinny too. And now I'm going to, I guess we're going to attach it like, just take the white and the blue and kind of just attach it like that. And that's roughly the arm. Now let's make sure that this is a pretty good size. And like if you want, you can just take a little bit off of the top. There we go, like that. So now there's some detail around. We have to take, just like we did for his for the bolts on his face, we're going to take some white and make some bolts on the side here. So one right there, and there's another on the other side. So let's do that as well. Like that. And now we gotta just do his hand, which is pretty easy actually. First we're gonna take some black. Okay, so let's take this and flatten it so it's like pretty much a flat square. Just like that. That's pretty good. Maybe the blue is a little too big, so I'm just gonna take some blue off. And that's the thing here, is that like if anything turns out too big, you can just take a little clay off, and then like it pretty much fixes itself. Okay, so now this should be a good size. And we'll add the yellow. So pretty much the same thing that we did with the inside of the ear, except now we're just doing it for his hand. Because I guess this is kind of like the back of his hand. Metal Sonic has yellow coloring, so we'll just put that right here. And according to the artwork, it kind of looks like it covers the whole thing. So let's do our best to spread it around so that it kind of covers the entire square. Like that. It's pretty good. And now we gotta do the fingers. So this is how I would do it. Now, Metal Sonic kind of has on his fingers like, you know, he has like his joints are like robotic, so you can kind of see them like where, you know, the actual finger connects to the lower part, well, where the top of the finger connects to the lower part of the finger, which connects to the hand. So this is what I would recommend. So this is his thumb. So let's just take, maybe too much. Let's just take a small bit of clay and just put it right there. Kind of like that. And now we'll do that all the way around for all his fingers. Just take a little small piece of clay and just kind of put it like that. So I guess these should probably be pretty small, maybe except for the thumb, but like everything else should be pretty small. And essentially what we did now is we pretty much set ourselves up to continue the finger and essentially make the little joint without us even trying. So check it out. So now we have this piece. We're gonna kind of make it, you know, long and pointy, and we'll pretty much just put it, you know, just put it on. And now check that out. Right where it connects, it makes the joint. So we pretty much saved ourselves a lot of trouble, and it'll look more noticeable as we continue on here. And now from this side, check it out. It looks like, you know, he actually has the joints, but we didn't really have to try too hard to make them. We pretty much just made the fingers. So let's take this now, and I'm just going to try my best to kind of smudge the blue onto the black, and it'll hold that way. I know I'd said we were going to use toothpicks. I guess they're not really necessary. It depends, I guess, on how he's posed for your liking. I guess I'm going to do like that. And, you know, all the clay's kind of leaning up against his body. It would depend on like exactly what artwork you were using. But all you would do is just take a toothpick and simply, you know, slip it in the white part of, you know, the model. But I want to do this because I don't know, especially sculpting on this small of a scale, it's going to be hard for me to put in a toothpick. So I'm just going to kind of do like that. And there we go. There is his arm. And now we're going to do the leg in this part as well. So the leg is sculpted pretty much exactly as the arm is. So I'm actually not going to show that on camera. You can just sculpt exactly the first part of the arm, and then I'll actually show you guys how to sculpt the shoe after.